As you can see, I have animals. So that's my dog Tiggy. She is a yoga lover as well. You may see a dog or cat pop in and out of the screen today during our practice. Today's practice is going to focus a little bit more up on the shoulders, the neck, upper back, heart space. With all the sitting that we're doing this weekend and, in general, our lives, we really probably sit a lot. If you're anything like me, I know I do. Then we end up kind of hunched over pretty frequently over our phones, over our computers, over our steering wheels if we're driving a lot. So today we're going to really focus on that movement in the shoulders, the upper back, and really get into that space. So I am always open to any suggestions. So if you want to use the chat box, you're welcome to let me know anything that might be going on for you this morning, whether that's physically or otherwise. Anything that you're feeling coming into day 2 of convention. Maybe anything that stuck with you from yesterday, whether that's from our practice or any of the workshops or presentations or plenaries. Yeah, love to just get a gauge for where everybody's at. We still have a couple minutes till the hour, so I'm going to give it a little bit of time just to see if any other folks show up. So. Adrian, see you out there too. Harold, Homer, Mike. Yeah, good to see some new names and familiar names on the list. I know yesterday was a full day, and today we have another full day. So we just want to give everybody that space to do the self-care, not only just in practice today, but throughout the day. So give yourself walking breaks, give yourself movement breaks, water breaks, of course. Eat. Don't don't spend the whole day not getting up from your computer. It's really easy to do that. Take it from somebody who works on the computer all day long. I know, very easy to get in that zone and not move. Yes, nature outside breaks indeed. Yes. I took a walk in the park yesterday with my dogs, and that was so nice. Right before the storm rolled in. Tucson, Arizona. Very good. Haven't been to Tucson in a while, but beautiful there. We went there for the mobilization a few years back. That was the only time that I've ever been to Tucson. I guess I could take a moment to introduce myself. I know a couple of you already. I'm noticing a few new names though. So for anyone who I don't know yet, my name's Casey. I've been with VFP for many years, since 2012, on and off. I actually became a yoga teacher while I was working at VFP, and that was kind of a little shift for me. And I have a couple of businesses that I run on my own, like I said, doing mostly online work. So the social media, website design, all of that sort of stuff, I do a lot of, and yoga is really kind of that little space that I carve out for myself where I can really get back into my body and my breath. That mind body connection is very strong for me, and I really enjoy just bringing it all in and grounding, really. And there's so many other things going on in the world. So today's practice will kind of embody that. We'll be having a moving meditation, if you would say. Yeah, feel free to say hi as you come through. Thanks, Adrian. Appreciate that. I'll save that for sure. So today, if you have any injuries, if you're coming in, I see some new folks joining us. Anything you want to share in the chat box, you're welcome to say hi, let us know, check in how you're feeling today. Anything that needs a little love today, we can always weave in that to the practice. We'll definitely be focusing primarily on shoulders, upper back, neck and chest area, little in the lower back as well. Really, we need all that full spinal movement. As with any physical practice, pace yourself, listen to your body. Anything that doesn't feel right, don't push it. And there are so many modifications um, under the sun of what we can do to make a practice work for you. So I've got a couple blocks out. You could also have a chair out or a stool or something that you can put your hands on that way. And you can also, use a blanket underneath your knees. I like to use that. You'll see I've got one out myself. I have a dog on my mat too. There she is. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's all pretty much for our housekeeping. Um, and I'm excited. This is my second class teaching at the convention. Tomorrow we've got a new teacher, Dan, excellent instructor, who will be guiding us, and I'll still be in class, letting him in and just practicing with you all. So that'll be nice. And then on Sunday morning, we have changed up a little bit. We've got a little workshop instead. So hopefully early risers will come to that as well on Sunday morning at 9. Today, just like yesterday, we're going to start off in a seat. So this first, 10, 15 minutes of our practice, you can take seated in a chair with your feet on the ground, comfortably sitting tall, or you can sit on the ground cross-legged or on a bolster or a block or something that would lift your hips up. Especially early in the morning, the hips can be a little tighter, just woke up. Sitting cross-legged can become a little bit too intense, for some bodies. So whatever you need today for this opening bit, we'll go ahead and start there. And today I'm just going to stay here in my chair as well. I'll scoot back a little bit for this first part, just to kind of show what that looks like. Chairs are a great prop for yoga, as are blocks, as are the wall, as are blankets. So anything that you would need, you can get creative in your home practice, grabbing cushions or, blankets. I've used books instead of blocks, so yeah, finding your yoga props. And we're gonna just find that tall seat, and we're gonna start in just about 1 minute. So like I said, I'm just going to take our first part seated in a chair just to demonstrate how this could look. But if you'd like, you could also sit on your mat, cross-legged in a yogi seat. Start by sitting up nice and tall. Find your tall but relaxed seat. So not putting in too much effort, but allowing the shoulders to stack over the hips and sitting upright and relaxed. You could let your jaw soften, your eyes close, and just start to come into a meditative space. Feel the ground below you. Start to deepen your breath. Inhale and hold. Exhale, release. Inhale, fill up, take in a deep breath, hold a little longer. Exhale, release. Press all the air out. Take 3 more breaths just like that. Inhale. Exhale. And as you do, continue scanning your body. Notice where you can soften, where you can lift. and where you can ground. So maybe if you're sitting in your chair, you're grounding through your feet, sitting tall and grounding through your tailbone, lifting your head, relaxing your jaw, relax your tongue. Notice anywhere that's clenched or tightening. You're wanting to think long. Keep breathing. Simply coming back to your breath. Anytime that the mind wanders off, or anytime that a distraction takes over, come back to your breath. Today's a new day. We have our second day of convention ahead. So much opportunity for connection, for learning, for being a part of this vibrant community at Veterans for Peace. So taking a moment to reflect and to connect inward. Noticing when all of the distractions are externally put aside, what remains in this internal climate? What is your body telling you this morning? Where is your mind at? How is your mood? Your energetic state? Knowing that it's okay to be wherever you're at right now, but letting part of the practice be the mindfulness of knowing, of checking in. Before we start moving, before we start engaging with the rest of the community. Just ask yourself, where am I today? And then go a little deeper, asking, what do I need in this moment? And then based on that question, start to move your body a little bit. Maybe that's a shoulder shrug, maybe that's a little neck roll. What is your body asking for? How does it want to be moved right now? And move gently and slowly. We're going to start slow and build a little bit more movement in time. On your next inhale, reach your arms up, either forward or up above your head. And exhale, hands onto the thighs. Take a few rounds of cat-cow. So finding a little flexion, extension. Inhale, bring your chest forward, shoulders back. And exhale, round your spine, bring your chin towards your chest. Take this a few times. It's a seated cat-cow movement. Flexion, extension, focusing on that movement through the sternum, the mid-back, the space right between the shoulder blades. And if this is good for you, you can stay just like this. But if you want, you could start to find more of a spiral to your spine. Moving the rib cage on an axis, forward, side, back, side. You can continue to feel a little more of that flexion extension as the heart pulls forward and moves back. We're going to go in one direction 5 more times. And as you're here, you have the opportunity to continue to check in as your body is moved. What's it telling you? Is it a little crunchy today? Is there some tightness? Maybe you're feeling pretty good, pretty open already. One more round. Come forward and switch your current. So finding that spiral in the other direction, or just staying in that forward back if that feels better. Listen to your body today and always. You don't have to force anything or push anything that doesn't feel right for you. Take 3 more rounds. You can be as big or small as you like. And then pause. Soften your eyes again and take a moment here just to check in with yourself. Scan from the top of your head down to your feet and just notice. Right, go on. How you feel in this moment. Just a little bit of movement. All right, go. And then if you're in your chair, we'll prepare to move to the mat. Yeah. And if you're seated, we'll prepare to move to hands and knees. I've got a cushion out for under my knees. You might grab one as well if you'd like today. That's always an option. And we'll start off by sinking down into child's pose. So child's pose, we'll lower the hips down to the heels, crawl the hands forward. You can have a pillow under the knees. You can have a pillow under the hips to elevate them a little higher. The hips can be as high as you like. The knees could come a little wider as well. So there's always options and modifications on this shape. Take a few deep breaths in child's pose, recalibrating now that we've shifted the body. If this isn't a comfortable position, you can always lift up and find a seat instead. In child's pose, you can start to walk your fingertips forward and lengthen your body even more. Find some deep breaths here. And maybe you take a moment here to set an intention for your practice. Maybe an intention as you come into the community space today. Why are you here at this convention? And what is it that you're hoping to gain from your experiences today? Reflecting and then releasing. On your next inhale, press to hands and knees and find a tabletop position. So here we've got the shoulders over the wrists, the fingers spread wide and strong. And we've got the toes tucked. The spine is long. On your inhale, extend your right leg behind you and press into the sole of your foot. We're finding a nice calf stretch, but we're also really using some upper body strength. So press into the ground, let the arms activate, the back strengthen as you press into that right heel. And stay here. Press and maybe even bop a little bit forward and back, pedaling into that foot a few times. And then we're just going to move that foot out to the side. So swing that right foot all the way around and out. It can be about in line with the left knee. If that's a little too much, you can have it back behind you. We'll have it out and kicked to the right, and the foot flat to the mat so that you really press into the pinky edge of the foot. We're finding a little hip opener here. If you want, you could find a little bit of movement. Maybe the hands crawl forward a little bit. Or maybe you just look in front of the hands. Take a deep breath here. If it becomes too intense, the knee can always go right back where it started. One more here. And then bring that foot back where it started and back to tabletop. So we've got both knees planted again, both toes tucked. If that's good, take a few rounds of cat-cow. So same thing we just did while seated, but now we're on hands and knees. Press into the ground strong. Start to stretch the wrists a little bit. Each one of the fingertips will root into the ground like you had little roots growing out of them. And your wrists can even press up so it relieves a little bit of that tension in the wrists. Take one more round of cat-cow. And then come back to your neutral spine. Inhale your left leg back. The toes are still down though. So the leg is straight and we're pedaling that foot out. Want to stretch the calf muscles and really breathe into the back of the left leg. And then we'll pick that leg up and move it out into the left. Same thing here. That leg is about in line with the left knee. And we're just here. Maybe leaning a little bit deeper, maybe not. And if it ever needs to come out early, give yourself permission to do so. Three more breaths. And to bring that knee down. Good. Back into our tabletop position. We're going to slowly move into a down dog. Down dog can be a little bit tricky if you have some tightness in the back of the hips. So take it slow and keep the knees bent. Send the hips up high. These knees can be as bent and the chest and thighs can be close together as you press into the ground. Maybe eventually the legs start to straighten a little bit, maybe not. Pedal the feet a few times from down dog. And then slowly drop the knees right back where they started, all the way down to child's pose. Sink low. Take a breath here. Check in with the arms, the shoulders, the hips. Starting to warm up a little bit. And just kind of notice how the body's responding. Come back up to hands and knees. And we're going to take that again, this time adding on a little bit more. Inhale your right leg behind you. Extend the leg and hold. Take a deep breath in and out. And then lift that leg up. Engage your core. Press the heel behind you. And we're just going to hold here. Starting to build a little more heat and activity in the body. Firing up a little bit. We'll be sitting a lot today, so let's feel a little strength in the body. We're going to bring that leg out to the side, just where it was before, all the way out and around. And the leg can be in line with the knee, or it could be back. Breathe here. And if you want, you could bend the elbows or go a little bit deeper into that shape. Go with what feels good for you today. What is it that you need so that you can best show up today for yourself and others? 2 more deep breaths. And then we'll drop that leg right back where it started. Drop the knee back. Tuck the toes. Crawl the hands forward just a little bit. One big lift up. Inhale, down dog. And exhale to hold. Take a full breath here. And then slowly drop the knees back down to the cushion or the mat. Inhale, left leg, other side, extends. Pedal into the foot, press the ground away from you. And then lift that leg up. So now we are here. Press the heels strong. We want to use some core strength and activate here. Breathe. Lift a little higher, engage your glutes. Press that heel strong, fire it all up. And then swing the left leg out and around, wherever it lands most comfortably. Stretch that inner thigh, lean to your comfort level of deepness. You want to find your edge, but not barrel forward through it. It's a delicate balance. Take a deep breath. And then we'll bring the left leg back and around. Knee drops down. Tuck your toes and prepare to move back. So we're going to come onto the knees first, if this feels okay. We're in a little bit of a toe stand here. If this doesn't feel okay, you could just find a nice seat in that chair again. There's a lot of options on how to take this. Find a stretch in the arch of the feet if you're here in hero's pose. If you're sitting, just find that nice tall seat, and everybody open your arms out wide. The elbows can bend, the fingers can lift up. We're going to start to find some more space. Now, if you can lift the hips up over the knees. Otherwise, continue to just stay seated. Reach the arms out a little wider, or maybe let them come a little lower if that feels better in your shoulders. What we want to focus on is the shoulders, the chest opening here, with either elbows bent or arms extended. We're in a big receiving shape, opening the arms, breathing really wide and deeply into the heart space. That's where we're focusing our energy today, our hearts, leading with love, giving, receiving. As simply as you breathe, feeling that exchange in, receive, and out to give. Now we're going to find some movement with the arms. In, lift up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, arms wide. Inhale, up. Exhale to your heart. Inhale, lift, last one. And exhale all the way down. Now, if you're in a chair, you'll just stand up from here. If you're down, we're going to move on to the feet and stand up. And we'll all be in a forward fold. In forward fold, you could have a block out or the chair. You could wrap your arms around your legs. Notice the blood flow. If you start to get dizzy, take a seat. Shake your head a little, yes and no. Maybe let the chest rest on the thighs and find a smaller shape. You want to really let the lower back release here. So if it's tight, the knees should bend more. We're going to stand up by bringing the hands to the lower back, fingers down. Stand tall with bent knees. Use a little pressure to stand up if that feels okay. We want to keep the back flat. We're not straining the lower back as we lift. Stand up and feel that blood flowing down. Take a moment to recalibrate and recenter here. The hands can start to move a little closer together. The elbows could squeeze a little closer together as the heart lifts up. Inhale, arms out wide. And exhale, arms forward and cross over. Inhale, open, out wide. Exhale, opposite arm on top. Keep moving like that, switching it out. Which arm is on top each time you get there. Remember those big expansive breaths and that focus on your heart. Your energetic heart center right at your sternum. Your physical heart beating. Your left chamber. Both of your lungs expanding through the rib cage and really just connecting here to that space, that energy. The next time that your arms open up, we'll reach out wide and then bring the hands to clasp together. We'll point up, steeple pose, so the pointers are pointed up, and roll the shoulders down. If this is too much, you could also try hooking the hands like this or just open them up wide. Inhale, point up, and exhale, point to the right. Stay here for a moment. Nice side bend stretch through the arms, shoulder, and left hip. Inhale to center and exhale to the left. Point here. An extra breath. And up, point up. And then we're going to fold flat back down. So we want to keep the back flat. You could even bring the hands there if that helped you. All the way down to the ground. Want to crawl forward and find a high plank. Hover yourself in a high plank. The knees can drop down first. Hips forward and upper body engaged. Activate here and breathe. For 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down to your hips and pause. Arms extend out to your sides, reach out wide, palms down. You could let a cheek or a forehead rest here. Just feel the ground supporting you for a moment. Breathe into the back of your body. Take some big breaths, expansive. And then bring the arms one at a time down to the mat and find Sphinx pose, pressing the forearms into the ground and lifting your heart. The toes can press into the ground as well as the palms. Lift your gaze, lift your head, and breathe here. Take 5 deep breaths. Last one to hold. And then release all the way down. The hands come down under your shoulders, elbows by your rib cage. Tuck your toes and press to hands and knees. And then press to down dog. Send your hips up high. And strengthen the shoulders again. Press into the ground. Lift the hips up and lengthen your spine really long. Maybe pedal the feet out a couple times. Breathe. Good. And then drop the knees down to the ground once again. Good. We're going to find a little lunge. So maybe that's best using the blocks or the chair to lift you a little higher. We'll step the left foot forward and through between the hands. So the higher up we have the arms lifted, the less intense it will be on the hips. So you can maybe heel toe the foot forward, use a chair, the wall, or the blocks. We're stretching this back hip here. We're engaging the glutes, maybe lifting the hands up to the knee, maybe leaning just a little bit deeper, depending on how it feels in your body. Good. If you feel pretty stable here, you could reach the hands up into your heart and find a balanced lunge without the block support, engaging the glutes and using your core strength to maintain your balance in a low lunge. Take a couple deep breaths. Find your focal point, your intention. And then we'll start to reach forward and back down if you lift it up. Hands come down to the blocks, ground, or chair. And we're gonna just use that support to step the left foot back and step the right foot forward. We're gonna get off our knees here in a moment, so we won't be here for too much longer. Last little lunge. Maybe staying low, maybe coming a little higher. Engage your glutes. Find some strength through the legs, the inner thighs, the feet. All working together. Hold your shape. Breathe. One more to hold. And release. This time we're gonna pick up that back foot and we're gonna step forward using the chair or the blocks to support into a fold at the top of our mat. Get there however you need to, and that's where we'll pause. Find a nice deep fold. Again, the knees can bend as much as you need. Shake your head out, yes and no. And then we're gonna just find a little bit of a flow here now. Moving with the breath, okay? We'll take big, slow breaths. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Step your right foot back. You could drop the knee or keep the knee lifted. Stay here for a breath in and out. Inhale to reach your left arm forward and pause. Exhale that hand back down and step forward, feet together, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, fold down, flat back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and step your left foot back. So opposite side, same thing. Stay for a moment, breathe in, breathe out. Inhale your right arm forward, take a breath. Exhale back down, step forward, feet together, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Take it again, right foot back. Inhale to reach your right arm forward. Exhale, release the right hand down, step your right foot back. Right where it started, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot back. Inhale, left arm forward. Exhale, left arm down. Inhale, step feet together. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand, flat the back as you rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your sides, mountain pose, pause. Take a couple breaths. Feel your feet on the ground, be stable and strong like the tree. Maybe you feel yourself move a little forward and back like a tree swaying in the wind. Just feel the weight disbursement through both feet. Take a moment to just pause here. Check in with your heart. Take a deep breath into your chest, really feeling the breath rise up your torso. And an exhale to release, feeling that wave down. And take a couple more like that. Inhale, breath rise. Exhale, chest falls. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale to reach your hands up. Exhale, fold all the way down, hands to the ground or block. Step your right foot back and move to warrior two. Warrior two is an opening in the hips. Extend up. Front knee is bent and in line with the ankle. Back foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat, arms out strong, looking over that front hand. That's your left hand. Strengthen the legs, activate here. If you need to take a slightly shorter stance, you can, and still keep a nice bend. Upper back is strong. Take a little movement with the arms. Inhale up and exhale down. Sliding the arms up and around a few times. Last one. Open up. Come back into your warrior two. And now listen carefully. We're going to pivot on the arm and leg rotation. Pick up that back heel and look forward. It's a little challenge in the balance. Look forward and then step forward, feet together, grow tall here. Big inhale, find a little back bend if it feels okay. And exhale, hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold down to the ground, hands to the blocks or the mat. Step your left foot back and move to warrior two on this side. So same thing, we've got that back leg parallel with the back edge, front knee bending forward, arms out wide. Find some strength as you look over towards the right fingertips, rooting in, really grounding into your body, into this shape, activating your core. And if you want, you could take a little bit of that arm movement, maybe going in the opposite direction this time. Keeping the legs strong even as the arms move. 3 more. Deep breath. All right, arms back to horizon. Prepare for that pivot and swish forward. Look forward, pick up that back heel if you can, and step feet together. If that doesn't work, move there however you need to get to the top of your mat. Lace your fingers, press them down to the ground, and just stretch into the wrists. Take a couple breaths here. Slow down the breath. If those little steps and hops made you get short of breath, it's natural. Now let's start to slow down. Inhale to press the hands up, or if it's better, keep them forward. And exhale, release the hands down. Finger flick, really feel that in the fingers. And then we'll lace the fingers, all of them this time, and find a few big circles with the wrists. Maybe it's a little crunchy. I know mine are. If it hurts, don't do it. As long as it feels okay, if there's a little crunch, that's all right. You can make it a bigger movement, really getting in there. Good. We'll release the hands down, lift up again, big lift. And exhale, fold down, flat back always as you lower. Start to bend the knees and find a seat. Maybe that's in a chair or maybe that's on the ground. Wherever you find yourself, we'll sit tall for a moment. Take a couple little twists. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to the right. Pause here and look over the left shoulder. Take 3 breaths this first round. And then lift back up to center. Reach tall, grow really tall in your seats. And exhale to the right, same thing, 3 full breaths. And now let's move with our breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist in your seat. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist. Move at your own beat. Find your own rhythm. Feel free to add anything else or take any other stretches that you need while we're sitting here. You know what your body's asking for. You're tuned in to yourself. Feel free to add an extra stretch or take an extra moment anywhere that you want. Swish the arms a little wider. Move slower or faster. It's your body. Take 3 more breaths here, wherever you're at. And then we'll just come to neutral, sitting nice and tall. Look over your left shoulder and just find a little gentle stretch through the right side. Both shoulders rolled down. Take a stretch through the cervical spine. Keep sitting tall in your seat, not slouching over. And roll over towards the right, looking over towards that side. Lengthen the left side of your neck. Come back and roll forward again. Look up and then look down. Take any other little movements that would feel good in your neck. And then we'll prepare to move down to the ground, all the way down for Shavasana. Take a couple more little stretches before we fully land there. If getting down to the ground's a challenge, you could always just stay in your seat, and you could also just stay on a couch and, just take Shavasana, resting in a different way. Um, the yoga practice can take many forms. It definitely does not need to be on a mat. That's just something we've developed in the West. Let's start to find ourselves in a comfortable position on the ground. Lower down there, however you want to get there. And if you're in your seat, you could just simply stay seated and find a little movement with the legs there. But once you get onto the ground, whatever you find yourself on, we want to take a little movement to just kind of settle in fully. You can move the wrists a little bit, the windshield wiper, the knees left to right. Maybe take a full body stretch with the arms up above, maybe grabbing your elbows. And eventually, one at a time, let the legs extend out long. Let the arms come down to your sides. If that's not comfortable, take a different variation of a resting pose on your side or anything else, maybe a block or a prop underneath you. The main objective is to rest. So we're giving our bodies and our minds a little moment of rest before we move into the day ahead. Let your eyes close. Try to clear your mind. Any thought that comes in can just as easily go back out. Notice any tension in your body that still remains and take a deep breath. Mentally let it go. Take this time right here. You could come back to your affirmation. Set a new one for yourself right now. Or maybe just use this simple statement: I lead with love. As a community leader, leading others, and as a human, leading yourself. Letting this rest right here be part of that loving kindness to yourself. You do enough. You are enough. And right now, it's okay to take a little rest. I'll call you back in a few moments. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Notice where your thoughts are at, where your mind has wandered off to. It's okay. Come back. Take another breath in and out. Before getting up, you might take a moment to just place both hands on your hearts and just connect here for a few more beats. Physically feeling that heart space, feeling the energy of love as you move into the space today of learning, connecting, and engaging with community. Knowing that that's truly why we all do the work that we do, because we care so deeply. Take one more breath here. Savoring that last little moment of stillness. And then start to move your body when you're ready. You can wiggle your fingers, your toes. You could rock a little bit side to side, maybe swaying or rolling to one side. Eventually, you can lift up to a seat, either in your chair or on the ground or on your couch, wherever you land yourself in a seated position. Ending together with that same intention that we started our practice with, coming back into this space. You could keep your hands on your lap, bring your hands to your heart, or maybe stack them one on top of each other again. May you lead with love. May you be connected to your passion. And may you live in peace. Thank you all so much. Thank you. It was great practicing with you all again this morning. Got an amazing day full of workshops, plenaries, presenters, social time. So please jump into something that catches your eye. Maybe try something new that you've never heard of. Learn something new. Definitely come in the social hours and mingle with other members. There's a lot of great people at convention this weekend. So again, my name's Casey, and I appreciate you all spending the last 2 mornings with me. For those of you who came yesterday, I will be in session tomorrow, but I won't be leading it. So I will be passing the torch on to Daniel, I believe. Yeah. So take some rest, get some water, maybe grab a bite to eat. I think we have just a little bit of time, maybe an hour till our next one. I had the schedule pulled up, but then my screen went out. Our next one is, at 11 with the Save Our VA, which that's going to be a really good one. So I hope that you all join us for that and the many other amazing things we have today. So I'll go ahead and sign off here. We're at the hour. Thank you all so much and happy convention. Bye.